which is a public awareness community resource. And through WeCare Partners, we have developed an opportunity in which we can actually do outreach in the community to complete our mission of making an awareness of the things that are important for our community. The involvement of tennis as a recreational sport is something that we felt would be very helpful in our effort to have a way in which we can reach the children, but also reach the parents as well. Tennis is the sport of a lifetime, and we have been very challenged in developing it where individuals can recognize just how it can show a value in the relationship of growing a community. United for Peace is an effort that we have developed in this outreach effort, and it has had a tremendous impact on the relationships that we have begun to build in this relationship of doing what we can to help influence our future generation to understand that there is help if there are problems in your life, and if there aren't, there is a safe haven where you can come and really enjoy having a great time in this area. Today we're very fortunate to have two incredible individuals who have put their life on the line, who have shown courage in relationship to standing up for the ideas that make us all who we are. In our country, we have had a number of different issues because everyone in America is not the same. Many of us come from different countries. Many of us have different lifestyles. Many of us have different ideas of what we want our lives to be. But we have been fortunate to have individuals who have learned how to help us reach those goals. Today, we have two gentlemen that have done that and are continuing to do that. I'd like to introduce to you the Reverend Dr. Gilbert Caldwell. And Dr. Caldwell has had a lifestyle that many of you have only learned from a history book. Dr. Caldwell has had the privilege of standing side by side one of our greatest civil rights, human rights leaders of our time, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. How many of you know the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King or of him? Show me your hands. Great, great. So then you can understand the value of what Dr. Caldwell is going to bring to us, because we know that if it wasn't for people like Dr. Caldwell, Dr. Abernathy, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., many of us would not have the lifestyles that we have today. The next gentleman that I want to introduce to you has been on the front line of this generation. He has been really aggressive in making people understand his concerns that really are important for us to be able to have a voice in the areas that people need to listen. And he has been tremendous in working in different forums with different organizations and has been a part of what's called a commission on violence. And the Commission on Violence has done some remarkable work in coming up with a blueprint as to what we need to do to stop the violence in our community. How many of you every day turn on your TV or look in a newspaper and see that somebody got killed or somebody is hurt or people are going through some real major problems that we can't control? Let me see a show of hands. Now that's really good, because let me tell you that by that kind of influence in your lifestyle, it can create some major problems. And if you have a situation in your life that you have been unable to get someone to help you understand, that's why we're here. And that's why Abdul Muhammad is here to really talk to us about ways in which, through counseling and through workshops of mentoring, that he has been effective in helping people who have gone through major problems in their lifestyles. And he will share with us his story of some of the experiences that he has had. Let's give them both a hand.
Now, one of the things, Bernice King, who is the daughter of Martin King, spoke in Asbury Park this past, where we live. We live in Asbury Park. And she was very powerful as she talked about the importance of love. And of course, love from my faith perspective, we believe that God is love, of course. And God expressed love in that person called Jesus. But she was simply saying that there is an absence of love in our communities, in the black and brown community. And therefore, we don't see all children as my children. We don't love kids the way we ought to love them. We don't see the potential in them. And I think for me, of course, that's, if in fact one is a person of faith, then one understands that you were created as part of a family. Some of us, you wouldn't, some young people, younger people, there's that song, We're Family. Who did that? Did Sister Sledge or somebody?
Yes,
Okay.
Right.
Oh, maybe there's people. Okay. But this idea, to me, my faith, the Creator made us family. And that's important, but not only in terms of my belief as a human being, but my faith says that the Creator made us family, and we've got to live like family in so many ways that we don't.
Okay. When we talk about living like family, the reality of a number of the problems that go on in our community is because of the lack of people knowing who one another is.
Yes.
We have very limited understanding of who our neighbors are. And on a number of different situations, there have been people in their family life, which they call domestic life, that have caused a lot of hardship. And in many cases, there is no remedy. Abdul Muhammad has been very fortunate that in a situation of his life, he had to overcome the obstacle of being able to learn how to deal with overcoming that particular problem. Abdul, the concern that I have is that it drove you to become more passionate about learning how to not only deal with your own difficulties, but to help others. Why don't you share with us some of your background and where it has really brought you to a confidence that you know it can help others?
First and foremost, giving all praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, and I always like to say that because when people hear the name Abdul Muhammad, the first thing they assume Islam. And I'll talk more about my transition from there to where I'm at today. But needless to say, I'm very much in awe of what Reverend Caldwell has shared with his experience, because we're sitting here literally listening to history, and we're listening to the wisdom, you know, because I think this is what's missing in our community.
Yes.
We have not had the opportunity to sit down with our elders, or as we would say, our griots, to extract and get the information of what took place years ago to pass on down to them.
Yes.
And I think that's where the bridge has been missing at. For me, you know, I came into consciousness of who I am in, you know, as you said, in difficult times, you know, and I remember, you know, I grew up here in the city of Newark all my life, but, you know, not too far from where we're sitting at right here, about a block down on 19th Street and 19th Avenue. I grew up in this area. One fatal day, May 30th, 1987, right down the street here, I had a 22 automatic handgun with hollow point bullets in it, right, in my hand, and it was over an argument between me and my brother. And in the process of that argument, my mother was standing there, and I wound up taking that gun and shooting my brother in the temple, and killing my brother. That was over 28 years ago. And I'm literally sitting back in the neighborhood that I grew up with my brother, talking about this here. But I fell in love with my blackness in the belly of the beast. I came into knowledge of who I am by studying Dr. King, studying the struggle of Dr. Abernathy and Andrew Young, and even the contributions of Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, and then going back beyond that into antiquity times, to what Gerald Massey and to what Sheikh Anta Diop and all of them gave to us as a legacy. So that gave me proudness. That gave me proudness and profoundness of who I am as a man. So I vowed that when I came home, that I would never, ever allow myself to be a part of a problem, but a part of a solution. And so when I came out of prison after doing 10 years in prison in 1987, I'm proud to say as a black man, I never recidivated. I never went back, because I vowed to come back to empower my community, particularly our young people. And I think that it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes.
One of the things that we have been limited in doing, and Reverend Caldwell, and I understood your point of view, is that we don't teach our young folk to have patience, to listen, and to learn. And the reason why we don't do it is because we don't want to take on the responsibility of being able to keep them in a level of understanding of how to appreciate it and be respectful of it. The more we provide it for them, the better it is for them. And that's where I felt this would be a profound moment for them to be able to interact with you all after we have a brief discussion, and to really see exactly what kind of personalities I have in my group. Because one of the things that we don't do is observe who we're actually working with. And we spend time trying to get them occupied rather than making them aware of what they're being occupied with. And I think that that's what you're sharing with us right now, that incarceration wasn't the best thing for you, but getting it made you more aware of how you can be able to challenge it in a relationship for others. The details of this particular issue is what they say in many instances, the devil is in the details. You have been out doing tremendous things in relationship to coming up with your own solution, but you've gone through some real pitfalls. Talk to me about your frustrations.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a frustration, because like most guys that are ex-offenders, they get frustrated because they can't get jobs, they can't get opportunities. I never accepted that. Because, I went all the way to the 11th grade and I dropped out. I didn't drop out because I couldn't perform. I dropped out, and especially our young people listening to this, I want you to understand peer pressure. I dropped out because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to fit in. So it was not because I wasn't getting good grades. So when I dropped out of school and I dropped into society, began to do what I wanted to do, and when I went to prison, I always tell people the best thing the Department of Correction ever did for me was mandate me to go back to school. That's the best thing they ever did for me. I remember in Royal State Prison sitting in front of the classification committee, and I was 19 years old, and they told me, because I'm under 21, it's mandated by the state of New Jersey, you gotta go to school. So I was like, okay, all right, I'm going to school. Because I didn't have no reason why I wanted to work in any shops anyway. So I went to school, Herb. In the process of going to school, I went and I sought to get my GED. In the process, I got my GED. After I got my GED, I became a paraprofessional. I became a teacher's assistant in the classroom. Then Mercer County College was offering college courses back then in Trenton State Prison and Royal State Prison. And I went on and I got my associate's degree in prison. So I was transforming while I was in confined, because I was coming up with my plan of success, because I seen so many of my peers that was coming in and being part of the revolving door of coming back and forth. I said, that's not me. That's not going to be me. I'm not going to use my incarceration as a badge of honor. I'm not going to use my incarceration as a crutch either. Because I believe that as long as I tap into what he have tapped into in the civil rights leaders or what our people have left for, we have enough profoundness among us as a people to be proud of. And I would do a disservice to Dr. King. I would do a disservice to Dr. Reverend Caldwell, who we are the trailblazers standing on their shoulders, and I come back, I want to sell drugs, rob, stick up, and maim, whoop, and pillage my community? Absolutely not. I'm the real sellout then. I'm the real sellout. So my message has been, in the 20-some years that I've been home, my message has been being an advocate for them. Because at the end of the day, as Reverend Caldwell mentioned, it's not about us. I want my legacy to be that my kids and my grandchildren could go on and say that my father, my grandfather have left a profound legacy. That's why we're sitting here talking about Dr. King and Reverend Abernathy and all of them who have gone on, but we're talking about them because they left a legacy behind, that we could say that we are proud of.
When the things that you have experienced now in this lifestyle, and thinking about what Dr. Caldwell and Dr. King had done to get to where we are today, and now you are on the shelters looking at where we need to look forward to for their future, where do you think we need to put our most effort into?
Definitely our young people. But I think the problem is, often, I have a life skills program called a life skills enrichment program. And one of the things in my curriculum, we talk about peer pressure. And one of the things I try to stress when we go into the schools to the administrators is that we often try to give mentoring to kids that have chronic behavior problems. That child, in my personal opinion, don't need mentoring at that stage. They need intervention. And once you correct the behavior and you change the behavior, then you assign a mentor like Dr. Caldwell, Abdul Muhammad, or Herbert Glenn to mentor them and guide them along the way so they don't digress no more. And I think that's where our social agencies go wrong at. I work for the city of Newark for 8 years. And I'm gonna tell you, even in the capacity of the job that I have now, I was sharing with Dr. Caldwell earlier, I work with parole guys, adults now. So I went from working at one level with young people to now I work with adults. And I'm gonna tell you, when I worked at the city of Newark, and Marshall Cooper is here, he could tell you, when we TAVE test adults at the one stop for careers and jobs, our residents test on our TAVE test at a 2.0 in math, 3.0 in reading. And I'm talking about adults. Dr. Johnson mentioned years ago from UMDMJ that illiteracy is a direct correlation to violence and poverty. And we have to stress to parents the importance of empowering our young people with education, but also empowering them with their culture, because their culture gives them a sensibility of who they are and the proudness of who they are. So now it makes them want to get up in the morning and go to school to get that education.
Yes.
That's what empowerment looks like going forward, because that's the only way we're going to hearken their attention and get their attention. We got to have a different methodology than the methodology that we've been using for the past 15 or 20 years that don't work, because it's a watered down one that's based upon so many illusions, that it don't speaks to their essence of who they are.
We spend a considerable amount of our time in conflict management, and in most cases, really trying to get inside the head of these kids, because nobody really takes the time to understand exactly what they're thinking. When we find out some of the critical situations in their lifestyles, some of them haven't seen their dad for years. In most cases, the only thing they know about their father is that he was locked up in jail and he only seen him when he was a baby. Or you find some that have conflict in their household based upon sibling rivalries. What happens when coach see you standing around beating on one another? What do I tell you to do? Tell you to stop, right? Why?
And sometimes you say, put your hand on your...
Hey, wait a minute. That's bullying. You got to give him a chance. Giving somebody a chance is very important in teamwork.
And
Yes.
you give them a timeout.
Making friends. Making friends mean that you have fun with your friends.
Only 2 friends I got here is...
And why is that?
Actually 3, 1, 2, and
Why are they the only ones that are your friends?
only actually 4.
So when we discuss with you about abuse, it's not always drugs. Abuse is when you try to hurt someone instead of help them.
Or abuse is when you abuse somebody in the gym.
But anything, it could be something good. It could be something good that's good for you. But if you're doing it out of moderation and excess, then it's going to be bad. That's when it becomes bad.
There are many concepts that have to be applied other than just constantly trying to discipline an individual. Most of the opportunities that we are taking advantage of here at the WeCare Partners Family Life and Tennis Learning Center is to be able to approach an opportunity where they know that we're part of their family. And we want to continue to give them the trust to feel confident that we care about what they have as a problem and their feelings. Because in most cases, at their age, they don't think anyone cares about their feelings at all. But what we're trying to do is tell you what drugs are like so that if anyone ever tries to get you to take it, you know what it is. And then you'll know how to say no. If you never have any kind of experience with it, because you want to stay away from it, we're helping you make sure you do.
But I don't really go around people like that because this boy, he was on this kind of stuff and his girlfriend, he was like, what are you doing? Why is these people in my house? And he was like, because, right, you remember the plan I was planning on? And she was like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not enough for that. I'm not going to jail like you. I'm staying by myself and helping my kid do what I need to do. And he was like, okay, you do with that and I do my plan.
Who was right? Which one was right?
The girl.
The girl was right because
She should do what she needs to do, and the boy, he going into other things that he shouldn't be on.
Oh, okay. Well then, you do have a good understanding of what's the best thing to do in terms of making choices, right? And that's what's so important about what we are doing here, is helping you understand how to make choices. When I show you how to play tennis, but you want to play basketball, that's a choice. Of course I'm going to do whatever I can to want you to play tennis.
Yeah, because you plan this to help us, not like be other people, like be bad and stuff and get in jail. You plan this to help us do things that we need to do, not be bad and like forget about what we need to do.
That's awesome. You know, I'm very happy. And how old are you again?
8.
You're 8 years old.
What's your name?
Mary.
She's one of the twins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, we have a very good family group here. Families are in there.
Very good. You spoke very well. Very well. You expressed yourself very well. And like Mr. Herb said, just continue to remember that life is about choices, and the choices that we make, good or bad. All right? So you on the right track. And don't let nobody take you off that track, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Because my brother, he likes to do bad things, and I try to help him do the good things and stuff. because he be playing with his friends a lot and they be teaching him how to do bad things. So he don't listen to my mommy a lot, so I teach him how to stay in the house and don't be playing with them. And sometimes he listens.
But we want you to know you got a voice. So every Saturday that you come here, you got to open up your mouth. That's the only way you want to learn. Because we're trying to build future leaders. So yesterday, I seen a lot of people that I normally see on TV. I seen them yesterday. Roland Martin, you know, another individual by the name of Ed Gordon from BET, Sean Puffy Combs, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton. You know, all yesterday, right? So my point is, you never know where the Creator is going to lead you at. So you gotta grab all you possibly can so that you can learn, and that's what this program is about.
My name is Abdul Muhammad, and I'm the founder of LSET. LSET stands for Life Skills Enrichment Program. Originally was founded in 1998 under an organization called Self-Determination Inc. I actually merged the organization with the Street Warriors back in 2005, and since that time I have recreated the program in this year here, 2016. And what we do, we work primarily with grade levels 6 to 12th grade. I have a curriculum called Positive Thinking that centers on peer pressure, conflict resolution, family values, domestic violence, peer pressure, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and we kind of engage the kids over a 6-week period. We're doing a pilot program here out of the Salvation Army here in conjunction with Brother Herbert Glenn and his tennis program every Saturday from hours of 12 to 2. Our team work with about 10 peers here at the youth center here, and we're very proud of the success of the program. So after 6 weeks they graduate from the program, we have a big graduation ceremony with them. After we have the ceremony with them, we would give them certificates stating that they graduated from the program. So we're very proud of the program here. Once again, the name of the program is Life Skills Enrichment Program, and we're working in conjunction with Brother Herbert Glenn and his tennis program here at the Salvation Army every Saturday from the hours of 12 to 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mamie Gray. I'm here at the Life Skill Program at the Salvation Army in Newark, New Jersey. I just want to let you know that I am so happy and ecstatic about being here on today to teach a life skill with some of the children on the day between the ages of 9 through 14. I will be doing a communication skill with the young people on today. And it's a fun activity. I like to make sure that the kids are active and doing different fun activities in communication. So we're gonna do what we call blindfold. So the kids are gonna be blindfold and they're gonna have to travel through this journey on a ladder blindfold. When I say a ladder, not literally a ladder, but a make-believe ladder that have lava down in between it. So the kids are gonna get the opportunity to let another kid give them instructions with communication to travel through this journey on the ladder. And the objective of the game is for them not to fall over into the hot lava. This is one of the activities that we're going to have, and it's other activities as well, but I just want to let you know that I am so happy and proud of the program and how the program is progressing. And what I do myself is all kind of life skills. Life skills can be from communication to teaching a kid how to manage his checkbook or accounting, as far as banking, teaching the kids how to conduct themselves at home in their own room, as far as making up their bed. Life skill have so many different components to it, and it also have an entrepreneur component. So when you read down the list of the life skills, you would be surprised at some of the things that the kids would like to learn. We teach them as far as driving skills, as far as how to take the driving test, how to drive themselves. So life skill itself also teach them as far as career, and teach them at an early age, teach them, I said, as far as accounting, as far as banking. So I just want to let you know that those are some of the skills, but we also have many exciting activities for the kids to do. And boys, let me know, there's an activity for basketball, there's an activity for football, there's an activity for soccer. And girls, let me let you know, there's an activity for beauty, there's an activity for you to learn as far as your career, what you would like to pursue in life. As we know, girls can become presidents as well. So sign off. Peace be with you, and I'm looking forward to coming back to the Life Skill program in Newark, New Jersey. Sign off, Mamie Gray.